Hey YouTube, welcome back to a Halloween special here on the Lincoln Williams Show. That's right, YouTubers. It's Halloween in 2020, and I just wanted to say, yeah, it's Halloween. So in on the Lincoln Williams Show. It's Halloween on the Lincoln Williams Show. That's why I'm wearing my Luigi hat for this top five games here on the Lincoln Williams Show. Actually, it's top six games to play on Halloween and all that stuff. So yeah, this is my list. This is my personal list. So these are one of the greatest games that you can play on Halloween. Some are weird, some are scary, some are, not so scary, but that's what to expect of my list of what games to play in 2020 and all that stuff. So some of these are going up on the scary level, like the scare level. It's gonna get pretty. These games get pretty weird with their dark elements and all that stuff, and and all that stuff to play on Halloween and all that stuff. So so this is my personal top list of the top six games to play on Halloween. The top six games to play on Halloween. And we start with number six. Number six, Super Castlevania 4. Or any kind of the Castlevania series in general. But I prefer Super Castlevania 4 because it's one of the greatest 2D platformers ever made. You basically play as Simon Belmont trying to take down Dracula, and it's a pretty good time. I have an actual cartridge. I have it on my 3DS. I have it on the Super Nintendo and the Wii U. And me and Chris love the Castlevania game. We love Super Castlevania 4 with, pretty much, we just love it because of the whipping around the whip and all that stuff. So, and all that stuff. So, I'm just gonna whip Dracula into shape and all that stuff. So, that game is really fun. So, all right, now we're moving on to number 5. And you probably guessed it with my hat, with my Luigi hat. And at number 5 of one of the best Halloween games ever made, it has to go to the Luigi's Mansion series. The Luigi Mansion series, it just basically places you in a mansion. You do Ghostbuster stuff. You just suck up ghosts with a vacuum cleaner. That's all you do. But there's so much more to this game. You collect money. You solve puzzles and all that stuff, and it's pretty good. So this is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon that I just got, and I've been playing. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So thanks for everybody for recommending me this game. If I'm a Luigi's Mansion fan, and it's been quite a while since I played Luigi's Mansion for a pretty long while. And I'm excited to get into the third Luigi's Mansion game because that takes you back into... Because this game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, basically does 5 distinct mansions instead of 1 like in the first one. But in the third game, they basically place you in a hotel. What's interesting about Luigi's Mansion 3 in general is that you go into this hotel with all your friends, Mario, Peach, Toad, and the ghostly dog, and you don't know what to expect Well, good thing there's a spooky time for you in Luigi's Mansion 3. So it's actually really, really fun to figure out. So, yeah, again, this game is not that scary once you like get into it, but it's really, really fun to play on Halloween and all that stuff. So, all right, number 4. This is a pretty weird one. This is a pretty weird game from the series. The series of the Legend of Zelda series. This game is pretty weird. If you're playing it, in my opinion, this game is freaking good. It's good, but it gets a little weird once you dive into it. Once you dive into the storyline and all that stuff, yeah, for the Legend of Zelda series, this has got to be one of the weirdest games ever developed, and it's perfect for Halloween because it's just weird. It's a little scary, but not too much. It's just weird because that game is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, it's basically, hold on, let me just check yep, I still have the cart. So, yeah, so Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, it's pretty weird. You arrive in Clock Town and you're trying to stop the Skull Kid from making the moon crash into the Earth, basically. So it's actually pretty weird. It's pretty weird, and there's signs of grief from everybody. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna live out my life for the rest of my 3 days on this stinking planet. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's your job to like stop the moon from crashing into the planet by visiting the 4 dungeons. And there's a unique side activity. It's called collecting by collecting all the masks. And it's very, very, I mean, it's good fun to collect all the masks because you get a reward at the end. And that's why this is one of the best completionist games ever made, because when you complete and when you get every single mask in the game, you basically get this really powerful mask that will help you in the very end by facing Majora's Mask and all that stuff. It'll help you defeat him a lot easier in the final battle. And I really do love, and thank you, Danny, for sending me this copy of Majora's Mask. And so, yeah, I hope you watch this video on Halloween. And yeah, so it's a pretty weird game, but it's a good one to play on Halloween. So, because you get to dress up with different races by putting on their masks, and you get to transform into a Dooku Scrub, a fat Goron, a skinny Zora fish, and all that stuff. And it's pretty cool. So yeah, this game is pretty cool at some points, but it also gets weird and kind of dark in some points. But overall, it's a very good Halloween game to play on Halloween. So yeah. And at number 3, we have another Zelda game that's rated T. I'm going up in order from E, T, and E, T, and M. So yeah. So another game is really good to play on like Halloween and all that stuff. So we're in the rated T zone, and that is. This is unexpected, but Zelda wins again with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Zelda Twilight Princess has you becoming a wolf, and you have to help out this Twilight Princess, the Twilight Princess called Midna, and that's why it's called Zelda Twilight Princess and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a very good Halloween game if you want to get your a little spooks on to face all the monsters and things like that. And it was a pretty good Wii and GameCube game, and now it's a Wii U game now, and it's a pretty accessible game if you have a Wii, if you still have a Wii, and if you want to play it on that way. But I prefer the GameCube and the Wii U versions of Zelda Twilight Princess. And yeah, what makes this game creepy is this one character called Zant or whatever the name is pronounced. The character is just so dang creepy and so dark. And he just like, whenever you face him, he's trying to creep you out by twisting his body all over the place. And it's like, ugh. And it's like, wow, that's creepy and all that stuff. And, you know, Midna's kind of creepy too, but when she's trying to get up all in your face, but she's your companion. She's the Twilight Princess and all that stuff that helps you, and she rides on your back as a wolf and all that stuff. So it's actually really good, and it has some Halloween elements and all that stuff. Some pretty scary enemies in this game too, like the zombies in the desert level and all that stuff, and like the skeletons that never die unless you blow them up with a bomb or something like that. So yeah, and another game, I have not played this game yet, but it's considered to be one of the, you know, it's one of my favorite sci-fi series of all time by Nintendo. And basically, it's Metroid Prime 2. I mean, oh my gosh. Metroid Prime 2 is got to be one of my favorite, it's got to be one of my favorite sci-fi dark games. But Dead Space is up there too, but I haven't played Dead Space yet, but I don't want to play Dead Space because I'm just staying away from, you know, really scary horror games in general. Like Resident Evil 7, I'm staying away from those horror games. But yeah, So Twilight Princess is a good game, and I highly recommend it. Let's see, where was I? So Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I haven't played this one yet, but it's a really good story about trying to get out of this planet that's being corrupted by darkness, by Dark Samus, and all that stuff. So you, Light Samus, going into this dark planet, and you're doing all these scannings of stuff, and it gets pretty scary. I played a couple minutes while I was down in the first part of the game. I was scanning around this, you know, like this computer scientist area, and the people there were dead, but they were not actually dead. Basically, in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, the people, the scientists, the troopers come alive and all that stuff, and it's actually kind of scary once you walk past them and you realize they're not dead. They look like they're dead, but they're not dead, basically. So Metroid Prime 2 is it's a pretty good game. I haven't played it yet. I will play the game soon, but just not right now. I don't have access to the GameCube version or the Metroid Prime Trilogy version of the game. I just have number 1 and number 3, but I don't have access to number 2 yet. So Probably should get that because it's one of the best, sci-fi games ever made for Halloween and all that stuff. Maybe I'm just guessing, but I'm just guessing on these games that are made for Halloween, and I think Metroid Prime 2 is good for Halloween and all that stuff for my list in general, even though I haven't played the game yet. So I heard great things about it, but anyways, we're getting on to the rated M. We're getting on to the rated M territory. So if you're actually, these games get a little scary. These games get, somewhat scary for rated M games, and so let's talk about one of the greatest zombie survival horror games ever made, and that is Dying Light, basically. So Dying Light, basically, you're just in this city, and you're trying to get out of this, and you're trying to get out of the city, and you're trying to survive in the city. And this game is actually really terrifying in some points. Like you're running from zombies. You're doing parkour sections. You're like climbing buildings. You're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse by creating all these crazy weapons. And it's a fun game once you get multiplayer aspect to it and all that stuff. And another really great game that I want to point out is one of the greatest survival games that you can ever play. One of the greatest survival games that you can ever play as an honorable mention is Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is a great survival game. You fight dozens of zombies, like monsters, zombies, and all that stuff in the Fallout universe. And this is one of the greatest survival games that I've ever played once it was patched and all that stuff. And they added the Wastelanders update. And it's been pretty fun. I mean, once I got back into it with my brothers online and all that stuff. So Fallout 76, it's a good game. That's an honorable mention. In this top 10. So Dying Light, good game. Fallout 76 is one of my favorite, multiplayer horror game, survival games of all time, basically. And it's a good game to play on Halloween and all that stuff. So it's an honorable mention, but it doesn't really make the list since it had a bad reputation back in the day. But now it gets, it's good. Now, one of the best Halloween games to play with your friends locally, online, one of the best PC games I've ever played in my life. It's one of the best games to play on Halloween, one of the best PC games of all time. And people might disagree on this pick, but it's one of the best Halloween games that you can ever play on Halloween based on its atmosphere, its storyline, and that is and its gameplay and its simplistic gameplay. And a lot of my I think a lot of my friends play this game still because it's one of the greatest hack and slash games ever developed and dungeon crawlers ever developed, and that is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. So Diablo 3 is basically so if you put it in context, if you put this word in English, that means it's Devil 3 Reaper of Souls. So that's what Diablo 3 means. and all that stuff. So yeah, this is actually a really good game. I played this with I played this with a lot of my friends when they were coming over and all that stuff, and it's a really good game to pick up and play, and be the hero and trying to trying to kill the devil basically in this game. And so it's really fun. It's a good hack and slash game, and I highly recommend it for Halloween because there's like the angel of death on the picture right there. He has his two swords waiting to kill you and all that stuff. So I mean, it's a really good Halloween sort of game, and it has like zombies, but they're far away. So but they're far away from you. They're far away from you that you can't really see them, but they have zombies. They have all sorts of monsters. They have creepy crawly insects and all that stuff, and this is just one of the best hack and slash games to play on Halloween and all that stuff. And yeah, my brother got me into it. My brother Austin from the Austin Williams Show got me into Diablo 3. So thanks, Austin, and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks, Austin, for getting me into Diablo 3 and all that stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's include my list of one of the best Halloween games. There are others like Resident Evil 2, which is a really good one, which is a really good Resident Evil game. The original or the remake. The remake is a lot more accessible to a lot of fans who love Resident Evil and all that stuff. So, and Resident Evil 4. But you can check those out at your own time, at your own pace, and all that stuff. So anyways, YouTubers, that concludes my top 6 plus honorable mention Halloween games. And I hope you enjoyed this I hope you enjoyed this video and all that stuff. Thank you for supporting me and all that stuff. And so yeah, so anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next time, and I'll talk to you later. All right, happy Halloween, everybody, and I'll be back someday, YouTubers.